Okay, so obviously Final Boss King and Final Boss Gother are back, but really quick, today we're going to go over King. I'm using a little bit of an outdated team, but honestly, like, people have been going through this thing so quickly, and like the team like meta has changed so drastically. For some reason it won't show me rank 1. I'm assuming they either got removed for cheating or something like that happened, but it only shows me rank 2, 3, and then down to 10. But yeah, so the team that I'm using is actually a little outdated. It's what people were using yesterday, and people started getting a really high score with it. Obviously my score isn't anything insane, like these people are getting almost 20k points. But I've never been super try-hardy with this thing, so if you're looking for like an actual, like, oh hey, here's how to get, here's the strategy to get rank 1, that's not really what I'm all about. Sorry about that. If you want to, feel free to head over to somebody else's video for that. But yeah, so honestly, this team is pretty good. I really like the way it actually utilizes Blue Liz, because honestly, up until now, Blue Liz has been pretty useless. She just kind of sits in the box, because if you didn't know, she works as sort of like a gimmick, and she was only really good in PvP whenever she first released. But after that, pretty much everybody knew what she did, and you couldn't really run her anymore. But yeah, so I've got her. She's not even fully powered up, because her whole gimmick is that she will die, and she will actually give you ultimate gauge. It won't fill your ultimate gauge completely, but I think it buffs it by 2, and it completely heals you of all status effects and fully heals your team. Yeah, ultimate gauge orb by 2. So I actually have UR gear on her for my, I think it's my Goddess Liz UR gear. But it's just so that way she can survive for 1 turn before she dies, because we want to try to get in a little bit before she ends up, killing over. So the big thing here is that Gother is really helpful. This green Gother is good for, buffing your attack stats and stuff like that. Green Derriere is your main damage dealer here, and then Easton is really good to use the attack stats buff. So we're running attack food. I've got UR gear on all of these characters. Easton doesn't have her own UR gear. She's using, I think, my Merlin's UR gear. So just know that's what I'm working with. But I don't know. This is actually kind of cool. I like the way that people are sort of, cheesing the way that the thing works, because you would think that you would just go for King the whole time. But the way people are getting really insane scores is they're actually using Derriere's ult on the dogs, because you can actually crit the dogs a lot easier than you can crit King. So it's actually kind of interesting. So the big thing here is that in all of these final boss fights, the demons take like 200% extra damage or something like that. We actually have double Derry card, which is really nice. So we're going to rank up Derry here because he's using 2 green cards. Most likely they're AoE cards, so we're just going to get evasion on Derry first turn. And then we're going to try to burn some of these Gother cards. I don't have to worry too much about Liz's cards, because after she dies, they're just going to, disintegrate anyway. But the main goal here, if you really want to go for points, you basically want to rush ult and then hit one of the dogs and try to crit, and then go into second phase. Like throughout your sort of run, you want to try to hit King as much as possible and get him down, so that way you can transition into the second phase. But you can actually go into the second phase without an ult, which I thought was really weird, because most of the time you want to have an ult ready. But it's actually not too big of a deal at this point. So we'll be able to tank that ult, and it'll actually kill Liz and fully heal us, so I'm not too worried about putting on evasion this turn. We are going to hit and then do this, and then we could potentially, yeah, we could go ahead and get ult really quick with Derry. So we'll just do that, plus it'll give us some extra buff stacks, which is really nice. I maybe should have used the buff before I attacked, so that way I could have did a little bit more damage. But, like I said, I'm not a perfectionist with this. I'm not going for insane scores by any means. So she's dead. Should heal these 2 completely. Yes. So now I'll have Derriere's ultimate. And you can see he does a lot of damage to Derry. So it's kind of scary, honestly, like running this team, because not only is he doing a lot of extra damage to Derry, but you have to kind of rely on RNG for her cards and etc. So I don't know, it can be really annoying. So we're gonna do Derriere there, so that way we have an extra like level 3 card. We're gonna try to clear up as much hand space as possible. We're gonna save that ult, as I don't think we necessarily need it just yet. I would love to go ahead and finish off the whatchamacallit, I would love to finish off this phase, but I don't think we really have enough damage to do that just yet. I may end up just going ahead and using my Derriere ult here on King, and it'll do a decent amount of damage, but it's not going to be anything super crazy. But just to survive the run and kind of show you what I've been doing particularly, I think it'll be somewhat helpful. So I'm not too worried about the stacks. We'll go ahead and hit with this. I guess we'll rank up Derriere's cards regardless, so that way I guess this is going to be a level 2 because I don't really have a whole lot else in hand. We're going to save that Gother ult in case he gets ultimate on phase 2, so that way we can try to reset him a little bit there, because his ult in phase 2 definitely deals a lot more damage and it can kill Derry pretty easily. So the big thing here is you want to try to put up evasion as much as possible if you can while he has like gold cards in his hand, because it's obviously going to deal a lot more damage to you. I always really liked Final Boss King. It's crazy to see how much the meta has changed on this fight since, you know, when it originally came out. Okay, so we still haven't gotten an Easton buff, which is a little unfortunate. We're going to... he's probably going to target Derriere. He normally does, so we're going to pop the evasion. Unfortunately, I don't have a rank up or a level 2 evasion, but so I have to use this one, which is, you know, kind of sucks, but we're going to do this, and we'll throw this out just for, you know, hand space and such. I think we have 2 turns before he actually starts to get his ultimate gauge bar full, so yeah. All right, so we've got a level 2 buff. We've got an actual... whatchamacallit, a Easton buff, which is actually really nice. You can see, you know, he targets Derry pretty heavy, and I'm assuming it's because he's a demon, or she's a demon, and he can deal extra damage to her, but I'm not actually sure if that's how the AI works on this or not. So we're going to, I think for the sake of hand space, well, we could actually go ahead and try to get Derry's ult here. I think we go for the evasion, because he does have a gold card in hand, and if on the off chance that these are all single target attacks, it could potentially kill Derry here. This lasts for 2 turns, so we may go ahead and just pop that. It may have been more worth it to try to use a different card, so that way you could potentially get another buff and merge for a level 2. It will give you a lot better, you know, sort of, you know, stats, but like I said, oh, and we actually did pull one, so that's a little unfortunate, but it is what it is. So we're already on turn 7 pretty much. So as soon as this turn ends for us, so it should be on turn 7. Right? Yeah. So this is normally where you want to try to finish it in most of the final bosses. I'm not quite sure if, because people are going for just insane scores, normally at this point you would target this and then use your ult. Hopefully it crits and you do like 8 million damage or something like that, because you have so many stacks and everything. But I think just to play it safe for us, we're going to remove ult. I don't want to kill King with that card, so we're going to hit here to get an extra stack, and then we're just going to finish the fight. Like I said, if you're going for max points, this is not the way you want to play it, but, you know, just for, you know, completionist sake and being able to finish it and get a pretty decent score, like that's 2.5 million damage right there, which is going to give you a pretty decent amount. We should finish here with maybe like 5k or, you know, little above. So okay, we got 5.7k pretty much, which is not bad. I think that might actually beat my previous score. I'm not quite sure. Let me look at that really quick. But we were at 1.11%, and now we are at 1.06. So we're not quite within the top 1%, but I mean, even then, you know, the rewards, we have the top 5% rewards. Obviously, it is day 2 of this update being out, so there's a good chance that a lot of people are gonna, you know, start figuring out the meta and then going for really high scores, and it could potentially push me down quite a bit. But I mean, obviously you can do this run over and over again. I hate running this thing so many times in a row. Normally I just go until I get everything that I want out of the shop, so if you guys want to do that, feel free. But yeah, this is just a pretty decent, easy way. Like that was a pretty average run too, so I got 5k points. I think if I had like a really good run where I could actually ult on the little dogs and stuff, I would get a much higher score. But that's pretty much it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully, you know, if you're looking for a completionist guide, feel free to go find another video, because I mean, I know a lot of people do want really high scores on this. So that's pretty much it though. Thank you guys so much for watching. Feel free to subscribe for more content in the future, and I'll see you guys in the next one.